Good morning. I'm Lindsay. This seems to be one of my more favorite places right now to film and talk directly to you. So we're going to just hang it right here. We've got some snow falling. It's the weekend. And I'm kind of wanting to use my daughter's mini donut maker. We have one of those Dash mini donut makers that she got for Christmas a couple years back. And I kind of want to try that out with some of the egg white batter just to see if I can make a little donut action happen for breakfast this morning. I don't know how it's going to go. I've actually never used the Dash Mini Donut Maker for this purpose. I have used it with other low carb style batters that are not reliant on egg whites as their main volume source, I guess. And I don't really know exactly how I'm going to do this just yet. I don't know what exactly I'm going to put into it. I do know that I don't want a cakey donut. I want more of a yeasty donut. I have told you in the past that I used to work at a donut shop in college, and yeast donuts were one of my favorite things. And I do have another video where I show you how I made some chocolate eclairs with the protein sparing modified fast bread batter. So I will try to remember to link that in the cards above or whatever. And yeah, let me get you set up and let's go on a little adventure here. To achieve that yeasty flavor of a yeast donut, I'm going to go ahead and activate some dry active yeast in a little bit of warm water. This is about 1 teaspoon of yeast and about a 1/4 cup of the warm water. And I am going to do about a half batch of my egg white protein bread. So this is going to be 176 grams of liquid egg whites. And I'm going to use the blender today because there's a technique that you can do where you do the blender and some xanthan gum. And what happens whenever you blend these two ingredients together in an actual blender is there's some kind of a marshmallow fluff texture that happens, and I'm curious to see if that will stand up to my donut maker here. I did 3 grams of that xanthan gum, and I'm also going to do 3 grams of some cream of tartar. And I'm just doing the cream of tartar because usually whenever I make the egg white protein bread, I use the cream of tartar, so I'm curious to see how that impacts the recipe. And I am also going to add about 12 grams of allulose, which is approximately 1 tablespoon. I totally forgot to add some sugar to my yeast to help it activate faster. So I've got a wee tiny dollop of honey in here. I'm going to mix that into my activating yeast, and hopefully that works. Alrighty, now I'm going to blend this up until it gets kind of a marshmallowy texture. My Ninja cuts off at about 2 minutes, not about 2 minutes, at exactly 2 minutes. So once this cuts off, I will go ahead and add some more ingredients. Look at that. It looks like marshmallow fluff. It is wild the way that happens. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 of the scoops of the monk fruit powder. Excuse me. And that is the scoop that comes in the actual package of monk fruit. It's about 1 gram of that monk fruit powder. And then I'm going to add in my bloomed yeast, activated yeast. I'm a little concerned this might make my mixture fall with that warm water, but we shall see. And I'm going to go ahead and add in 3 tablespoons or about 24 grams of my power flour. I have actually dubbed this Pro Flow lately, so we're going to stick with that. And I also forgot to video adding some salt, but I did add in a pinch of salt, and we're going to blend that again. Now that everything is all blended up, I'm going to pop it into a pastry piping bag. This makes it a whole lot easier to fill the little donut wells on the donut maker, and it's just easily controlled. Now that I've got it all filled up, I'm going to seal the top of my bag so we don't have any oozing issues, and I'm going to go ahead spray my donut maker with a little bit of avocado oil spray, and then I'm just going to fill each of these wells. I don't want to fill them too full because I don't want it to seep out of the sides. And wind up creating a bigger mess than I'm already anticipating. This batter is flowing quite nicely from my pastry bag, so I'm excited about that. Nothing seems too terribly chunky here. Okay, let's take a look. Oh no, they look deflated. Oh man, this is terrible. All right, with my skewers, I am going to just flip everybody over. I would do this normally with regular donut batter or a low carb donut batter as well, just because that's what the manufacturer directions tell me to do in this mini donut maker. These are so sad. Look at them. They are just like pitiful. Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to scrap that idea. Clearly the donut maker is not the business for this batter, or this batter is just not working well for the donut maker. So I'm going to go ahead and heat up the skillet, get a little bit of olive oil or avocado oil spray on there, and attempt to make some fluffy pancakes. Have y'all seen those Japanese style pancakes where they do like the big dollops of the batter on the hot skillet? That's kind of what this reminded me of as I was piping it onto the skillet. So let's see how this goes. Ooh, yes, that looks so pretty. Very nice and golden. It's a little hard to maneuver around my skillet because I placed those a little too close together. My spatula is a little bit wide, but they are flipping over beautifully. I'm excited. I'm less excited. My skillet was a little bit hot, so these are burnt on the bottom, and you can see there it's real dark. Flipping it back over. Eesh. So here's the aftermath of this experiment. It is for sure a failed experiment. As you can see, the donut maker just abysmal. And those were not fully cooked whenever I finally did pull them out. So definitely a no-go on this batter for that. And then here are those puffy pancakes. These are also not able to be fully done. Look at that. That is so raw. It did not cook through yet. The undersides were burnt. So those would require a whole lot more development. Clearly this recipe was a fail, and I'm not sure if it had much to do with the actual mini donut maker, or if my skillet was just too hot, or if the batter was just too thick to be able to cook thoroughly all the way through the center. I mean, like, this is inedible, as you can see. So I'm gonna scrap this and go back to the drawing board. When it comes to experimenting with the egg white batters and things like that, there are bound to be a few flops before you find a winner. Sometimes you find a winner straight away, but you still wind up being unable to replicate those results. You know, it's all a big experiment. Cooking is a scientific art, in my opinion, so anyway, this is where I leave you. I appreciate you coming along with me as I tried this out, and I hope to see you in my next video. It's just so sad. Can you see that okay? Is my light okay? No. They're just pitiful little critters, aren't they? Oh, we have a sad.